Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, today's topic is going to be about my vision impairment. A lot of people have asked me about my vision. I've always said it's a long story, and well, we're going to get into that long story today. So, on my father's side, my father and my grandmother were both diagnosed with a very light case of optic nerve hypoplasia. On my mother's side, my mother and grandmother were both severely nearsighted and just barely made it to where they could drive. Now, I was born with a pretty uncommon condition called optic nerve hypoplasia, which is something that, as I said, my father and my grandmother on that side both had. But the thing with my condition was it was much more severe than theirs. It was more than just being nearsighted. And optic nerve hypoplasia, or ONH for short, is a condition where the optic nerves are underdeveloped. And the optic nerves are the nerves that connect your brain to your eyes, causing you to see. The optic nerves send messages from the eyes of what you see to the brain. Now, mine were underdeveloped, and that means that there was nothing wrong with my eyes with having ONH. Finding out at first was not that easy for my mom. See, she was 18 at the time and still in high school. And she went to a doctor, and she said that I had a brain tumor, which was pushing on my eyes, or it was having my brain push on my eyes, causing me to not see. I don't know why I said the cause like that. That's interesting. And she freaked out, like most parents would. She was scared for her baby. And she went and she met my doctor that I've had all these 19 years, and he told her, "It's gonna be okay, Miss Burke. This is the condition she has. She's gonna be totally safe. Nothing bad is gonna happen, even though she is going to be visually impaired for the rest of her life." I have always had this condition, and yes, I was born with it. After what I just told you, obviously. And he had diagnosed me in 2005 after many assessments that yes, indeed, I have optic nerve hypoplasia. And I am severely nearsighted, which comes from my mother's side of the family. So explaining how my vision works. When a lot of people come up to see me, they notice that my eyes jiggle and they shake and they spaz around a bit. Well, the reason being for that is I have something also called nystagmus. Nystagmus is where your eyes, it's kind of like when your eyes have muscle spasms, therefore making the pupils go this way, that way, this way, that way, going up or down, up or down. And I have that as well. So it's not just the nystagmus and the ONH. I also am severely nearsighted as well. I can't see out the peripheral sides of my vision, or the sides of my eyes, if that's a bit more simple. I can barely see the camera right now. I can tell the light is there, and I can tell because it's facing me, there's a figure on that camera, which is me, but I can't see my hair, I can't see my eyes, I can barely even see my skin tone, I can't see my nails, I can only see big, bulky figures from afar, meaning I cannot drive. Believe me, guys, believe me, I want to drive, I really want to drive. Which, yeah, I really wish I could be out there and like have have a car and like being able to like drive around, but honestly, I'm happy the way I am. I mean, look at this. When getting a car, you have to pay for so many certain things, or car insurance, like if you're having a rental car, you have to pay for the rent. You know, all of this is a lot. And when we have Uber and we have Lyft, and even United Taxis, I still like to use them, or Access Paratransit. What's the point for cars? For people like us, I mean, for anybody. Like, we can all go and we don't need to pay for those bills. All we need to do is pay for the ride and we're done. Honestly, overall, I'm glad I have this visual impairment. I mean, don't get me wrong, this sucks. And for, a couple months back, I was struggling because I hated being blind and I really didn't like myself. But I feel so much more confident now, and I'm not embarrassed to walk around with a white cane anymore like how I used to be. I used to feel embarrassed walking around with my cane because people would think I wasn't normal. But that isn't true. Normally people are like, okay, and like are completely supportive. Other people just don't, or other people just like don't care at all. So I want to say just to all my visually impaired folks or people around me, you guys have so much to give, and honestly, I'm glad I found you guys. I'm just glad I found this visually impaired community because all of us can relate to one another. If we ever need anybody to talk to, we can just go talk to our friends. And it's great because without my community, and if nobody else in the world was visually impaired, I would definitely feel alone. I mean, who wouldn't? So I'm just overall glad that I've just got great friends and people that support me. And having ONH is sometimes a struggle. I mean, it's hard to explain. It's very complicated, and I'm glad I learned about it, and I'm glad to educate people about it. And I am always willing to help anybody that's visually impaired. And if I could, I would take the sacrifice to give everybody in the world a little bit of my vision. Because I believe the people that are blind or visually impaired deserve something. And I would do that if that was possible. And I would do it for everybody's happiness. But I'm just glad that all of us are happy. A lot of us are happy. And I know there are a lot of us out there who aren't. But being visually impaired, there's a lot of good things to come with it rather than the bad. I mean, think about it. As Molly Burke said, one good thing is like we can take a dog with us anywhere we want to go, a guide dog. And it's cool because you can bring them into restaurants, you can bring them, like there's so much more than just limited sight. The thing is that I need to tell people, that I've always told people, don't feel sorry for yourself. I felt sorry for myself too, and feeling